high super bond. Right, what am I doing? Okay. I just need to quickly save this template. Save as default. It says, okay. Move some of this out of the way. Right, might as well just get started then. Don't particularly have any melodies or anything that I'm coming to mind here. So I think I'm going to do some. Go. Okay, so there's a bit of layering I've got in mind here, because that snare's a bit dull, so I'm just sticking a clap on top of it and seeing how that sounds. But I'm just going to use the top of this clap. What I've done is I've taken the kind of clap bit out of it, so you know, clap's made up of several beats, isn't it? It is at the front, so I'm just kind of starting it after that. Oh, okay, oh sorry, I'll get the mixer on. Beg your pardon. Right, are we on there? No. Sorry, is that on there? Right, okay. So I'm starting with drums there, Super Blonde. I've got like this, I pulled this snare in, and I was just then layering it with this clap. But what I'd done is I'd removed the sort of front end of this clap, so the little kind of clappy bits, you know, a clap's made up of like several little kind of very fast rhythms. So that's been taken off, and then I'm just using the kind of body of that clap. Like that. And then and just mix it in like that. Okay, good. So I'm slowing it down anyway. Right, so there's two loops I like, quite like there. Right, so these are all getting chopped up. Oh, wrong way. Okay, just tidy up the clickiness, so we just need to get a little bit of fade out on that. Okay. Might just have a play about with the length of the tails on this. So Okay. Right, so I've come to the conclusion it has to be a 909 type of hat. Cool. Right. Find something to play along to. it's really helpful having a background like that on starting with that, because it means you got something to play your melodic instruments too, like the bass. Very CPU heavy those, aren't they? So it's just a side chain trigger, so I'm getting the side chain to basically react on the snares as well as the kicks. So just getting all the elements to groove along with the drums. See the idea. Oh, thanks, Super Blonde. Right, so I need to think what direction to take this in. I was actually going to stop doing this track and start another one. But it's occurred to me, sort of, this is sounding very sort of progressive, like progressive house, but it's got the synthwave thing. So I think what I can do with this is I want to add more percussion. I want to add more sort of kind of more sort of world stuff. I kind of imagine being in the desert. That's the video. I see the video in the desert. Alright, so A good place to start is here actually. I'm going to try this. That's more promising, isn't it? Got the side chain. Oops. Stick that in. So, I'm just about getting to the end of the session now. So I was starting to mess about with little bits of detail that just weren't even important at the end. So when that happens, it really is time to end the session. But it's not bad for an hour's work. The interesting thing about this though, Super Blonde, is the thoughts I'm having. So I'm thinking, oh, it's not going anywhere. I haven't got great opinions about this track. I was starting to focus on detail at the end, which is interesting. Because that means that's the end of the splurge. A really important thing of the splurge is that if you start moving, removing and improving, it's not really, you're not splurging at that point. Saying that, what you meant to do is like a quick arrangement at the end, which is what I've done, and I was starting to kind of get bogged in with the details. So like what I'm doing is, when I'm kind of pulling these kicks away, I'm trying to see how the next bit sounds. So by taking the energy and the size out of the bit before makes the next bit sound bigger. I'm kind of doing that just before a new part is added. But it's, I mean, the type of track this is I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, it sounds like a breakbeat version of a lot of the stuff I've been listening to in the car, to be honest. So I think it's probably fine. It's just like one of those tracks that takes you on a journey. yeah, playing with textures. So yeah, that's what it is, and I think because I mean at one point in this session I was actually thinking, right, you know, I'll write a B section, and you know, I'll just put in a big sort of drop sort of thing, and then I thought, no, that's not right, because that's not what the music's asking me to do. And what ended up happening was going down the kind of weird percussion route. And I think that was the insightful part. That was where my head was starting to think, you know, this is like a breakbeat progressive house, and that's just, you wouldn't start putting in a big banging kind of drop where there's almost a key change and stuff like that. And I think the way forward for this track would be to add more, to go down more the percussive route. And I think another thing we could do is we can add a top bass to this, and I think that's going to be, now I've kind of defined this as a percussive house thing that has elements of synthwave. We need some sort of we need some sort of higher up bass that's in 16ths. Over here, I don't know if we can quickly do one. This will probably sound like a mess, but I think it's worth actually, now I'm talking about it. Yes, vocals as well. Vocals will be in the fun. So there's plenty of options there, isn't there? And actually, that's a good point, because, you know, obviously the vocal would sell a track. I mean, what I'm doing here is adding this top bass isn't necessarily going to be a massive move forward, but actually, as you point out there, Super Blonde, the adding in vocals would significantly change the track. So yeah. Right, in fact that's definitely not the bass to use. Just get something I know is going to vaguely work. I always find doing this really fun. It's like one of those satisfying things. Actually, maybe. Oh, yeah, you see, that's what to do, isn't it? A Watty bass, an ASRM bass. That sounds good. Yeah, good. So that's good, and then it's just getting it to work with that sub. if this works. Yep, that's not bad. Smash that through the whole track. Like that. Right, that's where it comes in. Right. Okay, getting some ideas here. Right. Yeah, it's worked that. Definitely a house type of sound. Yeah, agreed. Baritone vocal. Smash that guitar. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's do the voice. Right. I better save it. Right, I need to go at my thing. Right. What shall I call it? I can't think of a name. First thing that comes to mind, heater. That's what's in the background there. Oh, Desert Drive, of course, Desert. Desert Drive. Thank you. Right, okay. Let's get the vocal on it. Right, and then just any old random thing, bang. Oh, what key with A minor in it? Alright. Maybe a question. Yeah, I think that's a good way to start. It's another way to kind of get creativity going, isn't it? I've done that. I've looked at pictures and stuff and wrote music to that before. Right. There we go. Actually, there's another little dynamic we can do. Breaking the rules of the splurge, but anyway. Is that one? Where's the hi-hat? There it is. Let's bring this in much later. Right, and that's it. So that's not been too bad. The whole sort of track there. So I've got 5 minutes. Yeah, so I come out of that alright. That was good. I feel good about it now. But as I say, as an artist, as artists, our opinions at the time aren't reliable. So this will go into the automatic music making machine, and I'll have a listen to it probably in the splurge. I don't think it's going to jump through to draft or discovery. In fact, no, it can go, well, it is discovery, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to take it forward or not, so it's going to sit in splurge, and then I'm going to then decide in 3 to 7 days what to do with it. So that'll be interesting. So I think what I'll do is we'll say like I'll do a live in 3 days time. We'll pull this up and then see what we think about it, and work on it potentially. So that'll be interesting. I think the whole creative thing, it's just trying to keep your distance, isn't it, from your own thoughts into what's actually sort of happening. Yeah, I mean, okay, Superblonde, so yeah, the automatic music making machine's great for like, having stuff there. Now for university piece, slightly different thing. Then you could use my momentum method. Basically what you got to do there is do a splurge, alright, and then just bounce it out, and then outside of the studio have a listen to it when you're doing something else, walking in the park, driving the car, whatever, and then just write 3 things down that need doing, and then go back to a session and do those 3 things. Now there's a game you can play called Ski Jump. You might want to write this down actually. There's within that, so you've got your 3 things, right? Your 3 things that you're going to work on in this track, okay? And the other thing is, when you're listening to your music as well, don't start writing things down you need to do. You need to listen to the track, let the track finish, then write things down. Okay, if you need to listen to it a second time, listen to it a second time, but don't listen any more than that. And the point of this is, if you start listening to it and you're writing stuff down, you're not listening to the music. And also, if you're just writing tons and tons of things, a lot of those things that you'll be writing down may be detail and insignificant and not needed to do, because really what you're wanting to do is identify the big jobs to do that will push this piece forward to the point where it probably doesn't matter about the little detail things, because nobody's going to hear that. Okay, so you've got your 3 things on your list. You go in the studio, you do the first one on the list, and you can pick whichever one. You can either pick the one that's going to be have the most impact on the track, or you can just pick something that's actually the easiest thing. And if you pick the easiest thing, what that'll do is it'll get you into flow straight away, very, very rapidly. And then what you're going to do is you have to, when you're doing the first action, there'll be lots of ideas kind of flood into your head of what to do. Just kind of try and make a note of those as you're going along. And as soon as you finish your first action, immediately and ruthlessly start doing all these other ideas that are coming into your head, right? Just do them as quickly as possible. If one doesn't work, don't get hung up on it. Just move on to the next one. Don't spend any time on it. And once those ideas dry up, then go to the second thing on your list and then do that. So these 3 things are a bit like sort of buoys that you can swim to. You know, if you were swimming out in the ocean and you get a bit lost, then you've got these anchor points that you can go back to for safety. And that's what those 3 things on the list are. And when you've finished the 3 things on the list, that's the end of the session. So this is an automatic music making machine. This is like another technique that I use when there's a deadline and I've just got to smash something in to finish. You know, it's not the best way to work, but it's a good way. And actually, tons of releases I did, like in the early days, not in the early days, but when I was releasing a lot of music, quite a chunk of that stuff early on. In fact, everything up till about 2018 was done with this technique, pretty much. But the important thing is that you do in your session, when the ideas dry up, you stop, you bounce it out. You have to bounce the track out. Don't listen to it in the studio, listen to it outside of the studio. Write 3 things down, go back to the studio and do it. So just try that Super Blonde and let me know how it's going on, and if you've got any sort of questions with that, also let me know. The other thing I would highly recommend is just doing 5 minutes meditation before your session as well, because that'll just kind of, you know, that'll keep the noisy brain down, especially if there's deadlines and stuff. But yeah, that's cool. Excellent. Right, Stephen. So and Super Blonde, I'm gonna head off. Get out of my pajamas, and what else am I gonna do? Get ready for the day. Actually, I'm not in work till 1 o'clock, so I'm gonna do some more studio stuff. So I might pop on in. I go on Instagram for a little bit, so I might go on Insta sort of just before lunchtime. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Bye.